Hi, welcome back to Vlogmas. Today, we're doing something very exciting. We're going to be doing a little scavenger hunt of my bookshelves to pick the book that is going to complete my 2023 reading goal. At the beginning of the year, I set myself a reading goal of 100 books. It's what I always set it at. It's a very achievable number for me most of the time. And somewhere in the summer, like July-ish, I hit 99 books and I was like, I'm absolutely going to read more books before the end of the year. And so I upped it to 120 books. And then in like September-ish, I had basically gotten to 120. And so I was like, you know what? I'm just gonna go for it and try to read 150 books this year. Now, today, currently, December the 13th, I have read 149 books. So I need to read one more book to hit my new reading goal of 150 books in 2023, which is crazy. It's the most books I've ever read in a year. I think prior to this year, the most books I'd ever read in a year was 131. It's just wild to think that, you know, there's still half of a month left, so I could potentially read even more before the end of the year. But I thought it'd be fun to vlog my very final book for my reading goal for 2023. And I thought it'd be even more fun if I just completely took away my own control of picking my final read of the year and doing a scavenger hunt of my bookshelves. I'm excited. I'm nervous. I'm excited, but I'm nervous. I haven't done a lot of videos where I have literally no control over what I end up reading for a video. And so to just let this be the like book that's gonna complete my reading challenge for the year is a little bit nerve-wracking because I want it to be perfect. I want it to be like a 5-star read. So the scavenger hunt that I'm gonna do is one that Kayla from Books and Lala has done a couple of times on her channel. Basically, there's just like 10 prompts and you go through them all, and the book you get at the very end is the book you end up reading. I kind of peeked at the prompts, but I have literally no clue what I'm gonna end up doing. So let's do it. Let's go find my final read, not my final read, but my final read of 2023. First prompt, grab your favorite book, go to the acknowledgements, and the first name you see, find a book by an author with the same name. My favorite book is right here. It is Station 11 by Emily St. John Mandel, of course. I've talked about this book endlessly on my channel. I'm gonna go to the acknowledgements. Aha, and the first name I see is what we're gonna go with. Simon. I don't think I have any books by Simon on my shelf. I'm gonna use Goodreads as a resource for this entire scavenger hunt. So let's see what I've got by a Simon. I don't think nothing immediately comes to mind. No Simons on my TBR, so I'm gonna go with I'm gonna do it again. I'm gonna just Catherine. I feel like I have a Catherine. I feel like Catherine is a name that I would have. I have a lot of Kates. I thought of a Catherine. Where's that book? The book is The Bear and the Nightingale by Catherine Arden. Prompt number 3. Prompt number 2. Pick something on that cover and find another book with that thing in the title. So we've got trees. We've got a cabin or a house of some kind. We've got a girl. We've got snow. All right, so trees, house, snow, girl. This is harder than I thought it would be. Trees, house. Maybe house? Oh, I could do Ninth House. Forgot about that book. It's all the way down here. Go to page 50, line 5, pick a word from that line and find a title with that word. 1, 2, 3, 4. Alex didn't really know, but he'd given her plenty of time. Okay, I definitely feel like we can find time. Oh, A Tale for the Time Being. Perfect. Find a 5-star read with the same colors on the cover. Blues, reds, yellows. I feel like we can do that. 5-star read with blues, reds, and yellows. Oh, looky here. These are similar colors. Yellow, blue, not a lot of red. Not any red, but brown. There's brown with the hair. I'm gonna go with Anxious People. Find a book with the same number of pages. Okay, thankfully I didn't choose a long book. There are 341 pages. Am I gonna stand here and try to guess? Or I'm gonna just use Goodreads. 341, is that what I said? Okay, we're gonna sort this by number of pages. Okay, 340. Oh, right off the bat. No, 341, wasn't it? 341. Perfect. Forget Me Not by Julie Soto is 341 pages. Perfect. I was so worried I wouldn't have anything. Flip open to any page. The first time you see, find a book by an author who shares that name. Okay. Oh, that makes me nervous. Okay. George. George. Okay. George. Oh, George Eliot. Middlemarch. I have Middlemarch. That's over here on my classics shelf. I really hope it's not another page numbers task next, because that would suck. I haven't read this book. Find another title with the same number of letters. So Middlemarch has 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11. 11 letters. That should be easy. You'd think that would be easy. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. That's 10. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11. A Little Life by Hanya Yanagihara. Find a book with a similar cover. Okay. Okay, so we just need like a face, right? A face, a really zoomed in close-up face. I don't think we're gonna be able to find a like crying like this face. Lovely War, can we count that? I mean, no. Oh, I could go for black and white. Obama. Let's do that. Flip to a random page, point at a word, and find that word in a book title on your TBR shelf. Oh, okay, so this is it. Like the next one is the book we're gonna read. Okay, so we're gonna flip to a random page, point to this word, court. Oh God, court. I don't think I have any books with the word court on my TBR. All of my court books, you know, A Court of Thorns and Roses, A Court of, I've already read those, and I've already reread them this year, so I'm not doing that again. Okay, recur, absolutely not. Let's go to this page. Key, I'm not seeing any key. I'm not seeing the word key in there. No key on my TBR. Okay, working. Ooh, I don't think I have working on my TBR though. New page, we're gonna go here. Summit? Absolutely don't have the word summit on my TBR anywhere. All right, we're gonna go to this page. We're gonna point to this word. There was nothing there. It was the end of a paragraph. Back to this page. Out. Out. I feel like there's gotta be an out somewhere. Out feels plausible. All these words have felt plausible. And when you know it, no outs on my TBR. New page. Here we go, 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 here we go. This word. Developed, no chance. Staying on the same page. Party. Party. Party could be plausible. You know what, why even look at this point? Like, the books don't even exist to me anymore. Let's just go straight to Goodreads. Nope, no party. Are we gonna be here forever? I feel like I've been here forever. Sessions. Okay, let's be real. Like, let's be real. Including force. Force. Again, you know, it just seems plausible, but I don't think I have a force on my TBR. No, I'm not trying to cheat, I promise. Let's see, here we go. Security. I feel like I'm gonna read this entire book just trying to find something. All right, we're on this page now. Far, F-A-R. Far. Nope. Oh. Figure. Ooh, figure seems plausible. Take a drink every time I say the word plausible. Nope. Maybe I'm going too fast. Let's just see where the book is telling me. Like right here. Friends. Friends. I've already read that. The only book on my entire Goodreads with the word friends in it I've already read. I'm looking at you so you know that I'm not cheating. Surrounded. Did we already have Surrounded? I feel like Surrounded has come up already. Birds. Nope. No birds. We're going to a new page. You've probably been on this page before. Subsidies. Okay. Come on, Obama. Do me a favor. I've been doing this for 8 minutes. 8 minutes. Right. W-R-I-T-E. Okay. I have something, sort of. Writers. It's not right. Does it have to be right or writers? I'm gonna do like 2 or 3 more of these, and if I can't find anything, like if I don't come across a word that I actually have, then we'll do writers and lovers. Given? No. Here. Mountain. No mountain. We're gonna go to one more page and try one more time. This is the last one. If I don't find anything with this word, we're reading writers and lovers. This word. Shut. S-H-U-T. Well, I can almost guarantee I don't have a shut. Nope. All right. Writers and lovers it is. I'm a bit bit nervous, to be honest, because I have actually already tried to read this year and I couldn't really get into it, but I think it was more the time that I was trying to read it, not necessarily the book itself. So we're gonna give this a go. Riders and Lovers by Lily King. I have heard so many good things about this book and I'm really excited to read it. Like, I really think I'm gonna like it, and I've seen it recommended a lot of times recently, like on Book Talk and just bookish internet in general. It's about a woman who is an aspiring writer, and she is also dealing with the death of her mother. Her mother's passed away recently, very unexpectedly. She's still sort of trying to come to terms with that. So I think it's going to be a really emotional and powerful read. I think it's gonna be great. So I'm gonna give it a go after literally 10 minutes of me trying to find something. This has been on my TBR for a long time. Also, it is barely over 300 pages, so I feel like I can read this really quickly. It'd be nice if I could read this in the next couple days because I'm actually going out of town this weekend and I'd really love to be done with this before I leave town. I'm gonna go read a little bit of this and then I will check in with you when I am, I don't know, maybe like 50 pages in. That sounds like a good amount of pages to get into before I update you. So I'm gonna go read. So I said I was gonna update you at the 50-page mark, but I didn't do that, so I'm sorry. I'm actually up to page 100 now. It's been a couple days since I filmed the little intro, like the scavenger hunt portion of this vlog, and I've been reading this ever since I filmed that. I started reading this and I was so immediately gripped by the book that I really have just been like kind of taking my time and really savoring it. I honestly think it's incredible. I listen to a lot of the books that I read via audio because it's just the type of reading that fits into my life the best right now. So it's been a while since I sat down and just like really savored a book physically like this. And you can't really tell, but I'm tabbing a ton because the writing is absolutely incredible. There's so many sentences and paragraphs and just little moments where I'm like, that's incredible. That's beautiful. I'm just loving it. Honestly, I'm really loving it. I'm going out of town this evening. My husband and I are going on a little trip for the weekend. I really was planning on having this done and have this vlog posted by then, but I'm not going to. I'm not going to rush myself through the last 150 pages because I honestly, at this point right now, 150 or 100 pages in, I think this could end up being one of my favorite books of the year, and I don't want to just rush that. It's a really great examination of grief and still having to like go on, like live your life even though you don't feel like it. Like this woman is really struggling with the fact that her mom has passed and there's no real explanation as to what happened to her mom, so she's struggling even more because she doesn't really feel like there was a reason that her mom died. At the same time, she's still like gotta pay all her bills and she's gotta live and she's gotta go to work, and she's trying to write a novel and she's been trying to write the same novel for 6 years, and so she's really struggling with like her identity. And then on top of that, there is a recent breakup that she has experienced that she's still sort of reeling from, as well as a potential new love interest that has kind of started to worm his way into her life in like not a creepy way. Obviously I don't mean like worm like he's a bug. I mean like he's just slowly becoming more important to her, and so there's that aspect of it as well. And it's just so good. It's not like a really plot driven story. It's not really like high action or anything like that. It's really just like a character study on this woman, and it is a really great examination of the grieving process and how you can grieve many things, not just a relative or someone you love dying, but also like the loss of relationship or the failure of a friendship, or you know, not succeeding in your job. You can grieve many aspects of life, and this is just a really interesting look at that. One thing for me, especially in this like latter half of the year, is something that I've been noticing more and more about books is like the immediacy with which I get hooked into a book. The first paragraph of this book just immediately sucked me in, and it is, I have a pact with myself not to think about money in the morning. I'm like a teenager trying not to think about sex, but I'm also trying not to think about sex or Luke or death, which means not thinking about my mother who died on vacation last winter. There are so many things I can't think about in order to write in the morning. It's just so immediately like a great setup to what this book is about, and it's incredible. I did try to read this earlier this year, like I said in my little intro part. I tried to read this earlier this year, and I figured out, I think the reason that I didn't jive with it at that time is because of the audiobook. This is not a book that I would want to be listening to on audio, and I feel like something in me knew that this was something I was going to want to read physically, and just experience on the page. Just savor. I don't want to say I'm going to finish it like this weekend or today or anything like that, because I'm really just going to keep taking my time with it, and I'm not going to like stress about it because I'm loving it. I want to be in this as long as I possibly can. So I'm going to continue to read it and continue to love it, and hopefully it will end up being a 5-star read, which is how it feels right now on page 100. So I honestly kind of feel like the way I feel about it now is how I'm going to continue to feel about it throughout the book. So I don't know that I'll have a lot more updates other than like my final thoughts and feelings, but if I do have anything, you know, groundbreaking to say between now and page 250 or whatever the final page of the book is, 324. Yeah, well, if I ever have something to say between now and then I will let you know. It's been a long time since I was reading a book and all I wanted to be doing was reading that book. It's been a long time since I've been so engrossed in a story that it's all I could think about for days. I don't know if it's my favorite book of the year, but it's definitely going to be one of my favorite books of the year because this was just absolutely incredible. I don't know if you can see, but I tabbed so many things. I don't know how long it's been since I literally just sat and read a book physically, like just consumed a story like this. And it has really made me remember how much I love just like sinking into a story and not trying to get through it quickly, just taking everything the book has to offer. This was honestly an incredible reading experience. It's about a woman who is in her early 30s and she's a little bit lost because her mom has passed away unexpectedly, and she has just recently ended a relationship that sort of felt like a defining relationship to her. Like she really kind of thought that it was like the end all be all of relationships. She's trying to write a novel that she's been trying to write for 6 years, and she's stuck in this sort of like going nowhere job that she's absolutely miserable in, but she's also having to pay off a ton of student debt, and so she feels a lot of the time like she's drowning. Then these two guys sort of come into her life. One of them is already a fairly successful author, and the other is another aspiring writer like herself who is her age and who is sort of feeling a lot of the same things that she's feeling. For much of the book, she's sort of torn between the two of them, but she's also torn between like the versions of herself that she is with each of these men. And at the same time, her relationships with these men are sort of fueling her ability to write. It's a really amazing testament to the fact that a coming of age story can happen at any time of your life. Like she's 31 and I feel like this book is a coming of age of sorts for her. She's really trying to figure out who she is. She has so much anxiety about the way her life is currently going. It's a love story about how you can fall in love with many different aspects. It's not really just about like an emotional love, like a relationship sort of love. It's about like a self-love, a love of what you're doing. I think I talked in my previous clip about how what I'd read thus far, you know, it was really about like her grief. She's grieving her mother, but she's also grieving these times of her life that are over, these relationships that have ended, and like a career that she has not been as successful as she wants to be in. Yes, it is. It's a novel about grieving, and it's a novel about, you know, starting anew and falling in love with many aspects of your life, not just, you know, a romantic love. It was just really, really good. I mean, it's just such a testament to the fact that you can be in your 30s and you still really don't know what you're doing, and that's okay. Ultimately, I think that the message of this book is that you don't have to have every single thing figured out. Like that's kind of the beauty of life. I think it's because I feel a lot of what Casey feels in this book. Like especially in my 20s, I felt a lot of anxiety about what was going on in my life, where my life was going. I did attach a lot of my happiness to things that didn't necessarily matter in the long run. And it did take me, you know, a long time to kind of figure out like what I want out of life. And I think in many ways I'm still figuring out what I want out of life and where I want my life to go and what I want my future to look like. That is what Casey's doing in this book. She's trying to figure out, you know, what her next steps. Where's her life gonna go? What does her life look like moving forward? It's an incredible book. It's just an incredible book, and it really kind of made me fall in love with reading again, you know, and that's crazy to say considering that I've read 150 books this year and have had some absolute gems of reads throughout the year. Just this was on a completely other level of experience for me. Like just sitting down and letting a story consume me the way that this story did, and just being so overtaken by certain passages and like the feelings that certain things made me feel in this book, like wanting to like tab it up. I didn't have a pen on me, so I couldn't go through and like highlight and underline and write in the margins everything that I was thinking and feeling while I was reading this. But this is a book that I will absolutely return to, and I will go to these tabs and I'll think, what was I feeling? What was I thinking when I read that for the first time? It was incredible. It was absolutely incredible. Thank God that I had such a win for my 150th read of the year. This book completed my Goodreads reading goal for the year, and I'm just beyond thrilled that this is the story that did it. I was really, really afraid that I was going to read a dud in this video, and that didn't happen. I really think that my being put off by it earlier in the year had a lot to do with the audiobook. Not that the audiobook would be a bad reading experience. I feel like I knew that I needed to read this book the way I read it. And so I'm so glad that I read it, and I'm so glad I read it when I did. I loved it. I don't really know what more to say. It was incredible, and that's the end of it. This was my vlog. This was the scavenger hunt chooses my final read of the year. Although it's not really gonna be my final read of the year, because as I just told my husband, I can't not be reading something. Like, I have to be consuming some kind of media, some kind of story for the remainder of the year. And because I'm about to be off work for 10 straight days, there's absolutely no way that I will not read more. But, you know, this completed my reading challenge. This is my 150th book of the year, in a year that I've read more than I've ever read. This is the book that, you know, if I did not read another book for the rest of the year, I would be so satisfied ending on this one. So that's gonna do it for this vlog. Let me know down in the comments if you've also read Riders and Lovers. Do you have similar feelings to me? I would really love to know. Also, if you have different feelings to me, I'd really love to know. I can't imagine someone not being affected by it, but obviously that's coming from a very subjective place. So I'd love to know if your opinions about it are different. Thank you so much for watching. I hope you enjoyed this video, and I'll see you again in just a few days. Bye.